Welcome to the Generation Elevation podcast, a conscious, connected platform for those who are ready to manifest their dream life. I'm your host, Elise Riley, a former PT, now motivational speaker, igniting empowerment and transformation all across the globe. Here at Generation Elevation, we are committed to bringing you the most inspiring guests who will share their stories, wisdom, and advice to help you progress closer to living a life of your own terms. What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Generation Elevation. For today, I wanted to elaborate on the topic, what you focus on expands. Now, if you follow me on social media, on Instagram at elise.riley, you would probably notice that I am constantly talking about what you focus on expands. So I really wanted to elaborate on this with you all today. Tony Robbins says, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And I'm sure you all have probably heard this saying before. We have around 60 to 80 plus thousand thoughts per day. And 90% of those for the average human being are negative. So whatever it is you're doing right now, whether it be tinkering around the house, out on a walk, driving to the gym, to work, I want you to just reflect on where your focus has been lately. Where has your energy been flowing to? What have been your thought processes? Have they been serving you? Have they been positive, empowering, or disempowering? Every single second, 11 million pieces of information, roughly, is coming through our neural channels in our brain. Our brain is only capable of processing around 126 pieces of information from that 11 million. And the way we filter all this information is through our senses. And we generalize, distort, and delete this information based on our current values, beliefs, memories, attitudes, decisions, languages, etc. So whatever is already in your current awareness is more likely to filter through. Have you ever been in a large crowd or at a festival and heard your name? Even though the music's really loud, there's lots of people talking, you can't really hear any of the friends next to you. However, you can hear someone shout your name. This is because we are so programmed and conditioned to search and hear our name when it is called, because it is in our current awareness already. And if you think about another example would be your favorite movie. I am obsessed with anything Marvel. And let's say you got your 5 best friends to sit down on the couch with you and watch this movie. At the end, every single individual is going to retell a different story of what happened in that movie compared to you, based on their different values, beliefs, memories, attitudes, decisions. Because they're going to filter the information that they're watching based on their current awareness and their current experience, which is going to be a lot different to yours. So my question to you is, what are you currently choosing to see? What are you currently choosing to focus on? Are you living day to day, choosing to see the positives and the opportunities in every situation, challenge that comes up? Or are you choosing to see the negatives on how the world is happening to you rather than for you? And would it be possible to change where you're sitting to then watch the movie that is your life from a different point of view, from a different perspective? And it's all good and well for me to just say this, right? And I'm sure you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I change my focus? And the way I did this was back in 2020. I was reading a book, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and this one line just absolutely slapped me in the face. And that line was, "You are not your thoughts, you are the awareness of them." Because if you were your thoughts, you wouldn't be able to recognize them as thoughts, right? And this just blew my mind. I was like, what? Wow. And so every time I would go for a walk, I would notice the thoughts that were coming through and just be in that awareness of what was coming up. So my tip for you to change your focus is to be the guardian gatekeeper of your mind. Which thoughts are you allowing to come through and filter into your experience? Are these thoughts empowering you or disempowering you? If you think about to what I said before on how we have 60 to 80 plus thousand thoughts per day, and for the average human, 90% of those thoughts are negative. Imagine if everyone listened to this podcast, changed only just 10% of those thoughts that were negative to more positive ones. Imagine how that could impact and change your life. Imagine the ripple effect that would have on the entire world. So, how to be the guardian gatekeeper of your mind? Be the awareness of your thoughts. So every time I had a disempowering thought come up, I would replace it with 3 empowering thoughts. So for example, in the past, I used to be really insecure about my body and the way I looked. So if ever I had a thought that come up around what I hated about my body, I would then replace that one thought with 3 things that I loved about my body. And I would consistently do this like a habit and routine. And I would never let one thought that was disempowering slip by. Another example would be for business and looking at opportunities and thinking, oh, I am not good enough. Why would anyone want to listen to me? That used to be my thought process. And so replacing that with 3 positive, empowering thoughts. Well, actually, I have some really valuable things to say, and I am able to help people through what it is that I say. And I've helped multiple hundreds, in fact, people through my coaching methods. So it's just having a look at that one negative thought that you have previously created a habit of focusing on and replacing that and creating a new habit of 3 empowering thoughts, 3 things you love about yourself, 3 things that are in your skill set that you can do, rather than focusing on what you can't do, what isn't in your skill set. As like I said before, where your focus goes, your energy flows. What you focus on truly expands, because when you start to focus on the positives in every single situation, the positives about yourself, you then train your brain to only then seek that in your awareness, to only then let that filter through into your experience. So wherever you are in the world right now, however you are listening to this episode, just reflecting on what are you currently choosing to focus on? What is currently in your awareness, and how is this happening for you rather than to you? How can you sit at a different seat on the couch and watch the movie from a different perspective? As what you focus on expands. So what are you choosing to focus on? Thank you for being a part of the Generation Elevation community. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a 5-star rating, written review, share, and tag me on Instagram at Elise.Riley. Until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep rising.